You're listening to the Long Game Podcast. I'm your host, Sandra Scaiano. I'm recently back from a trip away to my dear friend and multiple-time Long Game Podcast guest, April Pertwee's Storytelling Symposium. So the symposium is this amazing 2-day event held in San Antonio where we came together to hear stories, do some inner work in developing our own story, and to connect with other business owners. And this time for me was about more than the event programming, which I'm going to share some takeaways from throughout this episode. But for me, this time was about my circle. And as women business owners, there is a special value we place on the group of women that we take the journey with. Yeah, men have circles too, but there is a magic that is different when women get together. And over the course of my business, I have placed a high value on having these intimate women support groups where we can lean on one another, share ideas, share information, share our expertise with one another, and get the much needed support we need as on the daily, we are in our home offices all alone. So today we are talking about the importance of having a circle and some takeaways from the recent in-person boost that I got from my own circle. And these are gems that you just can't get anywhere else. The long game is your circle. It goes by many different names: community, tribe, network. For me, I prefer circle. There's just something about the term circle. Circles have long been used as symbols of unity and wholeness and equality. There is no beginning and no end to a circle. There is no leader or hierarchy in a circle. And in many cultures, circles can represent protection and healing. They can envelop. So the circle is also a powerful symbol of unity. And it stands for the idea that we are all connected. Whether we realize it or not, we are all connected by this invisible thread that binds us together. And that circle is really a reminder of our shared humanity. In many indigenous cultures, it is a tradition for women to gather in a circle when someone is giving birth or when a woman is going through her moon time. The circle of women supports the woman in the center, and all of the women in the circle are connected through their energy and their love. And this tradition, it's been carried on for centuries, and there is a reason why. Because when women come together in a circle, they create a powerful energy field that can help heal and support the woman in the center. And this circle of women is a symbol of strength and sisterhood, and it can prove to be a very powerful force. So in this modern day, we need a circle for our business lives just as much as it has been needed throughout time. The storytelling symposium that I traveled to is in its 4th year. Last year, it was virtual. So when it was announced that it was going to be in person again, I jumped at the chance to attend. And, this is a chance for me to be with the women in my circle. And because of the nature of the event, have a shared experience as well. So this long weekend, it did more for me in such a short period of time than so many other things that I've tried in the past in terms of motivation and inspiration. The conversations that were happening at the table, they were just incredible. Support and problem solving, inspiration, resource sharing. This is what we do. We dive in and we get right to the heart of it. And as business owners, it's so valuable to be with women who want you to succeed. And in these circles, we are doing all that we can to take everyone along. And, there's really nothing more inspirational than being supported by someone already doing well, and then having your expertise valued when supporting others. And that's really interesting because, in the circle, you feel good being helped and supported, but you also get the opportunity to support and help, which makes you feel good as well. It's an open forum in the conversations that I have in my circle of what's working, what have we tried, what was the outcome, and what would we do again, and what would we never look at again. So when I started this digital business, I started noticing what was going on in the industry around me. When there were a few women at the top who I noticed were helping each other. They promoted one another's offers, they spoke at each other's events, and each of them grew an audience which they crossed pollinated and promoted to. So I really took notice of this. And, even in my corporate days, I was, very pro woman getting together. But once on my own, and in my own business, this necessity increased exponentially. So it was in these circles where I found support, where I could talk about and validate ideas, where I could speak freely about what I see happening out there. And for women in business, no matter what your industry, circles are a source of grounding. They are a safe space where you can be who you truly are and you can explore who you want to become. Circles can hold you accountable, and they can also be the energy infusion you need to get your ass in gear to do it. So I want to explore, this last quality a little bit. So many of us have no shortage of ideas, but we get stuck in the execution. And excuses come in, or as is one of the themes in the symposium, resistance shows up. And it shows up no matter what stage in your business you are at or how successful you are. And I really love the conversation about resistance. And it's one of the takeaways I wanted to share with you. No matter what, when resistance shows up, you've got to challenge it. And having a circle is a place where you can share your thoughts and your feelings about the resistance, and you can identify it. The circle is a place where you can vocalize the resistance. And when you speak it out loud, it creates a shift. And then you can release it. Release the resistance. And the circle can hold you accountable to that. And I want to talk a little bit about energy as well. I mentioned it before that when women come together in a circle, there's an energy that flows, and there's an energy that comes from each woman. She's bringing her own energy there. So at the symposium, we were asked in the beginning, what do you want to get out of being here? And, my response was, I want to ride the wave of energy from these women to act for myself. Now, that's a really bold statement because each woman in the room, she brought her energy. And later in the day, we did some breath work led by Kelly Beck. And I felt the vibration and energy from every woman in that room. And, it overwhelmed me in a way. So, in a joking manner, sometimes be careful what you wish for with your intentions, right? But I took that energy that was in that circle, and, that is something that cannot be replicated in any other way. So when it comes to circles, energy and intention are really big parts of it. The energy that you bring and your intention for being there. And even if you're not sure what your intention is, the energy in the group can help you discover that. I think that's one of the best parts about being in a circle is that you may not come with the answers, only questions. But the energy of the group will help you uncover parts of yourself, getting closer to your own answers. So, I realize I'm starting to mix circles here. And, that's another cool thing about your circle. Like, there can be more than one circle, and they can look entirely different. I've got a circle that I keep in touch with on the regular. Just in general, and we're popping in and we're leaving messages and having calls. And then I've got a circle that's more regimented, and we meet one time a month. And, then there was this circle that was created at the symposium event. And that's now an expanded circle because, there were people there who were in my circle, and now there's more people. And I was able to connect with them because we were all there on the pretense of connection and being open. So when I work with my clients, I always stress the importance of having and creating a circle. This is especially true for those people who are just starting out or shifting from corporate into their own business. Your old friends, they cannot support you the way you need. You need women on the journey with you. And I talk about this concept a while back. I talked about it on episode 46, so you can double check that as well. But the big question always is, how do we find these relationships? So in my experience, I've built really strong circles using these 3 ways. One is from joining a group coaching program. I have found some of my closest confidants from group coaching. I've seen these circles being created from the group experiences that I've hosted. So when you are in a group, you are revealing about your business and learning about the businesses of those in the group with you. This intimacy, openness, and support that takes place inside most coaching programs, I'd say, is an automatic relationship builder. You've also got this extended time with your group, and, you start to get a sense of who you're drawn to. So from there, all you got to do is reach out. Relationships are built over time, shared experiences, and keeping in touch. All right, another way to build your circle is through Facebook groups and memberships. So similar to the group coaching idea, business groups and memberships are great places to meet other people who are on the same journey. And the key here is to be involved. Less lurking, more engagement. When you engage in these groups, you become visible. You allow others to get to know you and show how you can be a support. And I want to note that the best relationships are made from paid groups and memberships. When you and the fellow members are paying, there's an up level of commitment. And that's what you want, right? You want to build a circle with people who are committed to their journey and are investing in their business. All right. And a third way that I have built circles from are networking events. This is another one that's about showing up and engaging. You've got to show up and meet people, see who you hit it off with, and then continue to nurture the relationship by continuing to show up. Depending on the networking event, the opportunities to show up may be different, but the point here is to be involved. Get to know the other people. Who has a skill that you want to know more about? Who has a need for the skill that you have? Start conversations, cheer people on, and sit at different tables. Show up consistently so you get to know others and they get to know you. And from there, just be human. Let relationships bloom from your interests. So go for it, my friends. Go find your people. Be open and it will happen. And, another theme from the symposium that's a takeaway is be all in. If it's your work, your healing, or your goals and dreams, allow yourself the full process. Fully receive all that is coming to you, the ideas, the recognition, fully receive how other people see you. And this one can be hard because we always see the best in others and tend to gloss over it for ourselves. But this is where your circle can be the biggest support. Those in your circle can reflect back to you what they see and who you really are. So receive that. It is such growth to see yourself as others see you. And I love this quote from April Pertwee relating to that. Be in the circles of women who challenge you to be all in. And you can attend her next symposium, since I've told you so much about it, by following the link in the show notes. So it'll be there for you. I hope you take this and go take action. Take one step to finding and building a circle to support you. All right, guys, thanks for being here this week. Until next time. Thanks for joining me today. You can access more information, links mentioned in this episode, and the show notes at thelonggamepodcast.net. If today's show connected with you in some way, please share it with your friends or hop on and leave a review. Both of these make a really big difference. All right, until next time, keep playing the long game.